What are you talking about? This is
Oh,
where
good. We're
things
gonna
stop.
catch the part where you get mad at me when I say
Because why are you
Monday.
saying that? I've been in the same spot the whole time. What's the problem?
You keep kind of weaseling away. If you're watching the video, you can see Jamie so
Don't
mad.
mess with the pregnant person. Welcome back to the Two Mom Edit with Jamie and Lisa. Welcome to episode number 6. 6?
Yes, episode number 6.
Okay, we're so excited. We're still in Pride Month. Last week we talked about our coming out stories.
Yes.
That was so fun. This week I feel like we're getting a little bit deeper into some topics and getting into like more touchy subjects.
Oh, yeah. Touchy subjects.
Yeah. So, and I feel like sometimes it's a little bit difficult for us to talk about, especially if we know that other people are listening.
Yeah,
But I think it's
we have
okay
to
to
say
be
our truth.
Yeah, I think it's okay to be vulnerable, and I think it's okay to, say our truth. So today we are going to talk about if we ever wondered if being straight would make parenting easier.
Typically, I would kiss you, but I wanted to know if that's okay right now.
I don't care.
Truth be told, Jamie just got mad at me for asking her a question about the chair. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could kiss her, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Well, because I'm pregnant, so anytime for the next 9 months, I'm just right.
I would. But if I go in for a kiss, you can go.
No, but I do have lipstick
To show
lip
you're a
gloss
little
on
mad
today.
still.
So
Okay. Well, I love you. Okay. That's
love
it.
me too.
There's the kiss. Okay. Let's move it on. Oh, for Pride Month, obviously get your Limitless Slide.
Oh yeah, I'm not wearing mine.
Proud.
But you are. You're wearing yours today.
Limitless Slide, Proud.
I love the Proud Tebas. I really love.
it's a Teba because it goes in and out. It's the word habit spelled backwards. 30% off, 2Mom Edit, limitlessslides.com.
Yeah, wear them for your Pride events.
That's it. All right. What are we talking about today?
All right, so I'm just gonna go right into questions because I feel like this is gonna be tricky for us to talk about a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tricky,
All right,
but you
do
know
you
what?
feel-
That's all right.
We're gonna hop right into it. You ready?
I'm ready, babe.
Do you feel like you have to overcompensate because we're a 2-mom family?
Do I feel I have to overcompensate because we're a 2-mom family? I do feel that we're watched a little bit more closely
Yeah.
as
me
the
too.
token 2-mom family. I do feel that there is a certain type of not pressure, because pressure is kind of like what you put on yourself to a certain degree, but there is an awareness that we're a 2-mom family. So like, for instance, if Carmela goes to a birthday party and punches a kid, first thing I do think honestly is like, and I know everybody's our friends, but like, we're the 2-mom family. I hope they don't think that these are truth, authentic thoughts that I
Yes.
had real quick.
But
And
then
then
I'm
I
bringing
nipped
up
it.
this example because this happened recently.
This happened. I hope they don't think like, oh, there needs to be like a man in that house to raise that daughter to not punch another kid. That is something that I did think. But as a straight couple, you don't think that at all. You just think your kid is acting up. But that is a thought that popped to my head. Full transparency.
I
Totally being honest with
similarly
you.
feel like I put this pressure on myself, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
our friends or other people in town do this to us, but
They don't.
I
Yeah.
definitely feel like I put more pressure on myself to even to my family. It's not just the people in town, just
Right.
that like we want to do even better.
But those are feelings that come up a lot with like queer families, because you're not, you don't blend in as much, I guess you should say.
Right.
You know? So I do feel a little bit more pressure. And also even moving to our town, either this town or the one before, we made sure that we were in, people got to know us first. And put ourselves out there a lot. We joined every group in town. We drew which we loved. It was a lot. It's a lot of fun. However, we made sure that we were known.
People liked us before they could judge us.
Exactly. We were known for who we are.
Yeah.
And we put ourselves out there.
Definitely.
We went the extra mile.
So what are some moments that you felt judged? Was it like for school drop-offs, forums, doctors? Carmela just entered kindergarten, so nobody there knew us. Like, did you ever feel judged by meeting the teacher or anything in this process that made you feel judged?
Judged? No. Different? Yeah. Filling out forms in school, the mom, the dad. Telling one of our past teachers that would always say, okay, your mommies and daddies are here to get you. I hate having to be like, can you say parents, or some kids have one parent. Can you say, people that take care of you?
Yeah. We have had to have those conversations before.
We've had those conversations
Twice.
before. And that is just simply annoying, but we advocate because we have to. And just always making it clear, like, we know that we're different. Like even when we meet with the school guidance counselor, the first meeting, it's like, I know she's looking at us that like she probably has had a handful of lesbian couples with kids in town. So it's just that unsaid knowingness that we share that also is a bond for us because we know what it's like, that
And
straight
again,
couples don't have to deal with.
Right.
They never probably have to think about.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like they don't have to deal with because it's not like people aren't really doing anything to us.
No.
It's that they have to think about. We have
to think about and experience.
I'm going to move my chair after we just
Good. I was right. Good. You see what you're watching the person back there watching this? I was right.
It's not because we had to move the chair though. It's just because I'm leaning to the left.
Okay. Jamie got mad.
Anyway. So yeah,
I do think about
though,
these
it's not
things,
that
so
we
it is
necessarily
more
feel
work.
judged. I think we're giving ourselves those thoughts, but we wouldn't have to have these thoughts. We wouldn't have these thoughts if we were in a more traditional marriage.
Right. Or if we lived in P-Town. I remember we went to P-Town a long time ago and I was like, what would the world feel like if it was more gay than straight? That's why I love those type of places,
That's why I can't wait to go to Fire Island. We haven't been there in a while.
I know.
I also love to go to Ogunquit because of that.
I know. We have these little pockets in our country.
Yeah, it's really neat. Even in Asbury.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I agree about the doctor's forums and things like that, by the way. I often see like mom, dad. Sometimes I'll see parent 1, parent 2, which is like awesome because you're getting with the times. But it's always like, ugh, so annoying.
Yeah.
And you have to like deal with that. So, all right, let's move on to like double standards. What would be like normal for straight couples, but the question for our family?
Okay. Normal for straight couples. Okay. Well, the thoughts of who's, quote, the real mom.
Yes.
Which one carried? They try to pick apart like who looks like more like, oh, is that the bio mom? Is that
what's funny? I don't mind telling people how we built our family. Obviously, like we're doing this
don't.
podcast, right? I actually love informing people because they usually have no idea, never met a family like ours. But would a straight couple have to deal with that? Would somebody say to them like, well, who's the real mom?
No.
Such a weird question for somebody to ask.
Right. Who's the real mom? And then if you get, did you know the dad? Like some questions, I appreciate questions, but some are just a little invasive. And also the way that they word
I think they're worded wrong, right?
Worded
because if somebody said, oh, was it a known or unknown donor? Fine.
Fine. Love it. Please say that all day.
But what if somebody was like, oh, did you know the dad? I don't know.
How's the dad?
They don't have a dad, so I have no idea what we're talking about.
We don't fucking know the donor. So like, yeah, these are things.
But we've talked about the word dad before in previous episodes.
Exactly.
It's like, well, they don't have a dad, but they have a donor, and like, no, they don't know the donor.
Right.
So I usually respond like that. It's very like, well, they don't have a dad, but they have a donor, and no, they don't know the donor. I just automatically correct people's language. Even when people say like, oh, go to your mommy, I'll be like, mama. I just automatically correct it. It's just natural. It's like a second.
And it's a way of teaching. It's a way of teaching others, and just giving a little bit more knowledge, to others, for our family. And
what are some other things that come up with us that are like a straight couple would never have to deal with? I have one.
What?
When people are like, oh, are you guys sisters?
Oh, yeah.
Actually.
Or friends.
Yeah, or friends.
They just think
our
we're
landscaper
friends.
Thinks we're sisters.
I didn't want to explain to him.
You know what? He like doesn't speak that much English, and it was just too much.
It was too much. It was loud out there. And then he kept asking me questions, and I had to make this whole big story up.
You made a whole story up. Well, now every time I see him,
he's
like, "How's your sister?" I'm like, "She's great."
I said, "Oh yeah, I used to live over there."
He thinks we live in this big house together, me and my sister and the kids. Okay.
Sometimes it's just easier with that. That was an easier one. Be like, yeah, my sister.
It's kind of funny now. It's like a joke, but he's so nice.
Because I wanted to go in and out, and he was there, and he was all ready to talk.
He was like judgy. It's like too much to explain. We never
too
really
much
have
to
the time.
explain. No.
But he's a nice guy.
Exactly.
Wait, I have another good one.
Okay.
Actually, something that like a straight couple would never have to deal with.
Would never have to deal with. What is it?
They don't have to adopt their own child because the birth certificate isn't enough to protect your family.
Right.
Which is crazy. Do you have any
that
other?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that is just
I know.
There's these little things that remind you that your family is different at the end of
Yeah.
the day. And yes, our relationship is very similar to a straight couple relationship, but there are things that you and I only know, and other gay families out there. We share this special commonality of what we're talking about now that only we know.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I think we also started this podcast too, is I really miss being in the gay community. And like,
Definitely.
you know, like I said, I wanted a gay friend because there are certain things that we talk about and we experience. That's also beautiful about our community that only we know.
Yeah.
You know?
What are some other things that you think like straight couples would never have to deal with that we deal with often? Anything else?
Maybe one more is just like not taking a relationship real. I would say before kids, especially if you're two
That's a good one.
attractive women in a bar and you're girlfriends and you're dating, you're gonna get that asshole.
even if you're
that's
married,
like, or married, yeah, you're gonna get the asshole that doesn't take it serious, that has dirty thoughts about it,
Ew.
that thinks that he could turn you.
Yeah, would a straight couple have to deal with somebody like purposely hitting on
No,
your
and
spouse
if they
in front of
did,
you?
well, they wouldn't. If they did, they would get their ass beat, right? But at the end of the day, am I gonna go, beat a man's ass?
Same. Yeah.
At the end of the day. And also there's that level of respect. Like a guy's not going to flirt with, I don't know, a fiance of a man in a bar.
If they're together.
If they're together. No. So yeah, there's a good amount of stuff actually that we,
I'm sure we can go on and on,
yeah.
but I don't want to keep complaining.
Nah, it's all right. It's all right. It's okay. Hey, it comes with it. It
I
comes with it
totally agree.
It takes work though to advocate,
Yep, that's true.
speak up for yourself.
Now I want to talk a little bit about like how we are with our kids and how we're raising them with pride and how we are so like not necessarily like how would our life be easier if we were straight moms, but how do we parent differently since we're not?
How we parent differently. You could start.
So like what are some things that we do on purpose to show more representation to our children?
Okay.
I know something that you do a lot.
Is it going to be, okay, go.
You could say it.
From when she was born.
Yeah.
Every book that we have now, I love when there's obviously books written about different families.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
However, a lot of the books, which if you're a gay family, you probably know them all,
Yeah, because it's not that many.
showcase that the child is different.
Yes,
number one.
that's so true.
They showcase that in one book, it was about the kid was actually being bullied. Some of the pictures were like horrendous. And I'm like, fast forward to the picture because I'm trying to keep our daughter's innocence as much as possible. And just, we're trying to raise a confident, strong girl, period, just to love her two awesome parents
Right.
that happen to be women. That's it. So the books, I actually didn't read a lot of the gay books because it was just different. I don't want to build her mindset focusing on her being different on such an early age. I want to focus on the powerful fundamentals of her being confident and strong. So the books, Fancy Nancy, the series, the guy with the hair, he kind of could look like a lesbian if you think about it. So every man in a book, I would say mommy and mama. And that would be me.
Yeah, because she was so little, she never even. Really,
I still kind of do it for fun.
She was now she knows the difference.
But she knows I'm
she could
joking
read,
now.
But she laughs
Even
at it.
if she's watching a show or Peppa Pig, mommy and daddy, I'm like, where's mommy and mom over there? Get you. I said, Carmela, I'll be the dad in this one. And
Yeah,
she
now
laughs.
it's like a joke. But when she was little,
But
she
I
didn't
like that
understand
she
the
laughs.
Yeah, me too. But when she was little, she didn't understand the difference, and so we just tried to make her feel like she was being represented in books because
Always.
other kids are being
Always.
represented in books, and we didn't really have any that we felt like we could relate to.
Mm-hmm.
So we just would automatically say mommy and mama.
And when you're reading a book, you want to feel relatable to that character. So sometimes I would make it like she's Fancy Nancy. And what's the little thing? The little JoJo. Francesco's JoJo. I'm the dad. And you're the mom.
Yeah.
That's it. And I changed the words.
Yeah.
I changed the words.
Any other things we do on purpose to show more representation to our children? Well, we
We
mentioned
do.
last episode that we make sure we are part of prides and that our kids feel accepted by their friends and their families.
Yeah.
And that is really important to us.
Yeah.
Do we talk to our kids about the word gay?
No. No.
Don't.
We don't
We
because
don't. I don't even know if Carmela's ever heard the word gay unless she's heard it at school, which I doubt it because they're in kindergarten.
so it's kind of like this. Like we're trying to keep her as innocent as possible, like I said, and just raise her to be confident and proud and strong and just love us as parents
Yeah.
and think that she is the coolest, best. She's lucky to have us as parents, period. I think that's the fundamentals that we lead with.
Yes.
Now, when the word gay comes up or, we feel like it's time, she'll hear it before we bring it up for sure.
Definitely.
Then we say, you know what? Do you know what the word gay means? Happy. We always told you we were a very happy family. We would make it as a joke. We would make it as like, we're the superhero team. We've always been really good at that.
You know what she's done recently, actually?
What? You're telling me now on here what?
No, it's a good thing.
Okay.
She has pointed out in an excited way, Mama, I see a mommy and a mama couple over there. And even if they're not, and I know they're not, it's like definitely they're not together. I could just tell that they're like friends or whatever. They just happen to be picking up the kids together or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah.
And that's amazing. We're like, yes. Oh, but there's another one. Oh.
And other things we
and then she's still like, wait, she did that once for me. And then I would be like, she did that once for me. I think they're mommy and mama at a park. I was like, maybe. I said, yeah, but we're still number one. We're still number one.
Yeah.
Just to be silly. Yeah. And I want every gay family out there to say, you're number one.
Yeah.
Number
but
one.
we also go out of our way to make sure she sees other types of families too. So we also like point out that she has some friends that only have like one parent that takes care of them.
She knows I have one parent growing up. I tell her that.
We make friends. Right. Exactly. We make friends with families that have two dads and people that she knows their nannies mostly take care of them.
And you know why it's so important with her? Because she's the oldest. So she's going to pave the way of comfort and pride with the other kids that come in our family.
That's definitely true.
And we're building a team. So yeah.
So would you say that she understands our identity? I mean, I think she does. She even does what other little kids do. Like if we kiss, she's like, "Ew, you guys are kissing."
Yeah. That's right.
And then she laughs. And you're like, "What? I'm not supposed to kiss my wife?" And she's like, "Ah, ha, 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 ha."
That was
fine. You could love each other.
That was so cute when she did that.
Yeah, it was cute.
Remember that?
It was a very little kid thing to do.
It makes you want to do it like more,
Yeah.
in front of them. It's a big deal actually to do that stuff in front of them,
Yeah.
We should do that more in front of them.
What, kiss?
Kiss, hug, dance. No, I know, but we always kiss, but in front of them, before dinner, after dinner. Like make it a thing in our house, Good morning, first time I see you and she says she's down there. Like if I come home to the gym, like yesterday she was standing on the microwave with her butt
on
out.
The microwave?
Or reaching for the microwave with her butt out. I'm like, what am I walking into? I should have walked up to you and said, good morning, babe, and given you a kiss.
Yeah, because we saw each other before the gym, but she doesn't know that. She thinks that's the first time we're seeing each other.
Yeah, just like trying to put in that work to like do those little things.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start that.
Okay. What would you say is some ways that our partnership gives our kids something extra and not less?
Do you want to start?
I think our kids are lucky to have two moms. A mom is so special.
Mm-hmm.
Not that a kid's not lucky not to have two moms, but I feel like we are very different. Even though we have so many similarities, we're very different people and we have really different perspectives and personalities and we're into very different things. So I feel like regardless if we're like straight or gay and like a man or a woman or two moms, but we like both have such different stuff to give our kids. We play with them differently. You will sit on the floor and play an activity with like little figures with them, whereas like I'm like doing dance parties with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cooking with them, teaching them how to make cookies, muffins, or whatever. And you're doing an obstacle course with them.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm teaching Carmela how to do gymnastics moves. You're, like, bringing them out to go do scooters. So I just feel like we bring very different things to the table with them, regardless of what our genders are or whatever we identify as. Mm-hmm. I just think that we bring something unique for each of them. And I think they know that. They'll even request, I mean, of course, Carmela, but even Francesco, now that he's like almost 3, he'll be 3 in a few more months. I think that he is even able to distinguish who holds what role.
Right.
I think if you ask him like who does what in our house, even at this age, he'll be like, Mama cooks dinner and Mommy is playing Monster Mommy.
Right. Yeah. Wait, so what was the first question? What was the question?
So it's basically saying like, how does our partnership give our kids something extra and not less?
Okay. So how does it give it extra? What you just described is just like being 2 good parents, right?
I hope so.
Yeah. We just try to be 2 good parents, like, so how does it give it extra? You know what gives a little bit extra, I think? A little bit of something special.
What?
we teach them how to be proud to be themselves.
Yeah.
Because as they get older,
we model that.
we model that.
Yeah.
And they just see what they do, what they probably see model, right? So we're being ourselves, being true to ourselves. She knows we're different. She knows we're not, a straight couple. She knows we're not a mom and dad that's very popular around her, right? So she sees us being proud of who we are and still being who we are, even though we are not like everybody else. So a different sense of pride, being true to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, because that'll carry over in so many different ways.
That's right.
In whatever career she does, in her relationship. And just like I grew up as a very like confident kid, I was like, this is who I am, hear me roar, like I'm here.
Yeah.
I think that they'll grow up to be the same way because I feel like we're modeling that. Like, be proud of who you are. This is who your family is. This is who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of works against us sometimes because she'll be like, well, this is how I feel and this is my own thoughts.
That's right.
And we're like, oh gosh, we taught you that, didn't we?
We taught you that. Yep. Jamie definitely taught you that. That's right. What's next?
Oh, I don't even remember. So,
I don't even remember.
what are we talking about again here? I do this all the time. Sometimes we get like a little bit off topic, and I'm like, what are we talking about?
That's why I had asked what the question was again.
Because you didn't even know what I was answering.
I didn't know. You're not even by the microphone. Nobody could even hear you anyway.
What are you talking about? This is
Oh,
where
good. We're
things
gonna
stop.
catch the part where you get mad at me when I say
Because why are you saying that? I've been in the same spot the whole time. What's the problem?
You keep kind of weaseling away. If you're watching the video, you can see Jamie so
Don't
mad.
mess with the pregnant person.
All I said was the microphone.
You were just looking for something.
You don't look for something when your wife is pregnant.
No, yeah.
You carry on to every little good hour, good moment.
You just, you know what? I haven't even been that hormonal this pregnancy. The first trimester, I would say the first few weeks, I feel like I was definitely moody. Every single thing you do, you would look at me and I'd be like, I just need you to leave the room. But I feel like since I entered the second trimester, I literally don't think I'm moody. What's that face?
No, I was just looking over there.
I think I've been awesome. I think I'm acting like literally completely normal.
Yes.
Except for at nighttime when I get tired. But I don't think I've been like moody. I've just been like a little hungry, craving some salt.
That's it. That's it. I agree with you.
I'm serious. You think I've been moody this pregnancy?
All right. So what are you getting to eat after this?
Oh, I've been thinking about it for hours. I woke up thinking, yes, every time we film a podcast,
I
we get
thought
wraps
the
for lunch.
same thing.
Every time. And then I thought to myself, I've really been craving chips lately. I haven't had chips in years. Since I've been pregnant, I've been eating chips at least several times a week. And I don't care. I mean, I'm still working out every day, so that's good. I've actually been working out so well that I'm like, oh, a little sore. You know why?
Ooh, a
You know
little
why?
sore.
Because I was taking it more easy in the first trimester
Right.
just to be extra careful because it's
Right.
twins. And now that I'm in the second trimester and I have like the full clearance to do my regular stuff,
Yep.
now I'm like getting back into my regular
Getting back
routine.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been super consistent with my workouts now that I've been feeling significantly better. And I'm like, oh, this feels awesome. Could still work on my arms sure this summer. Which like sounds funny because I'm going to be so big by the time I'm in a bathing suit this
You
summer.
think so?
Well, you know what? Like, so now we're like in June,
Yeah.
beginning of June.
You have more of a baby bump now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But now, like, beginning of June, by the end of August, I'm going to be, I can't even do the math. We already know that we're not good at math. I'm very pregnant.
You can be very pregnant.
Like, that's like almost 3
They
months.
should be here like
3 months of
October
summer. Do you
by
know how much?
Halloween.
Do you know how much a baby bump grows in 3 months?
You're gonna be big, but it's gonna be every week's gonna be a different little thing. And then when it's done, we don't even remember what it's like, or at least I can't say, but I don't think you really remember because I have to remind you sometimes when you say things like, oh, I was never like this in my other pregnancies, and then I get a flashback.
Like what? Like, give me an
I'm
example.
definitely not getting set up for this trap right
No,
now.
I'm not.
I'm not answering.
I'm just curious.
I really don't want to answer because I don't want you to get mad.
I won't. I just want to know.
When you couldn't find an outfit, you hated all your clothes.
Oh, I definitely did
Yes.
that in my other pregnancies. I know that.
Well, you said, and I had to remind you when we were getting ready to go to bingo, and I said, "Oh, remember this when we you kept saying, no, this I didn't have this, I didn't have." You just forget. I don't want to go into
In the moment, I don't want, because in the moment I was so mad because it's so hard when you're like growing initially and you're like not really in maternity clothes yet, but you're like out of your regular clothes and nothing fits the same way. And it doesn't matter that you know you're growing a human. Your body's changing and it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to hear anything.
I know you didn't want to hear. That's why I just went
so
downstairs.
Because we were like
got
already
the kids
running,
ready.
Yeah, we were like already running late.
Mhm.
And I was just like, I literally have nothing to wear to go out with our friends. Wait, by the way, you're like, when we went to bingo, people are probably thinking we're like sitting there doing like
Oh, yeah, no.
Wednesday night bingo.
It's a party
It's
bingo.
like our town does like
It's a party bingo.
Our town does
It's
handbag
like a party.
bingo. It's
A
fun.
party is sitting around now having food.
Like,
Wait, so once it
handbag
started,
bingo.
it was cool because they had some margaritas going at the table. The whole table
We
was
didn't
all
win
cool.
anything though. I was hoping to win a
And
bag.
they had some margaritas going. We were good. And then I was like, oh, this could be fun. I could like this. Food, drinks. All right, this is cool. And then it got silent. And they said, all right, we're not going to play. I said, we got to do this for 3 hours? I'm getting the hell out of
We
here.
did leave a little bit early.
No, it turned out to be fun. But I just kept eating the cheese and crackers in front of me and the sushi.
I know.
I was just eating. I don't even know what the letters were.
I wanted that sushi so bad. I'll still eat cold cuts. I don't care. I'm like, I'll
We
survive.
know
I'll
it,
get them
girl.
freshly
We
cut and I'll
know
eat them.
it. We
But
know it.
I didn't eat the sushi. I was like, I shouldn't eat sushi.
No, you're
Especially
pushing it.
because
You're
was like
pushing
sitting
it
out
now.
cold. I was like, I'm not even gonna chance it. Anyway, don't know
Anyway.
what we were talking about today.
I don't know either. But
Oh, I felt the baby move again. This is a lucky little seat here.
well, that means that we're supposed to be doing. We're
Good.
supposed to be doing this
Yeah.
for sure. But I think the episode overall was about being two moms and how we deal with different things. And experience different
it started
things.
with
right.
Would it have been easier if we were straight? Well, you know what? Maybe. But you know what? Doesn't matter because I love our life.
I love our life. And anytime we have a chance to advocate and teach others, awesome, because it's just spreading that knowledge, and making it just putting it out there.
Definitely.
And that's it. But there are going to be things that come up real quick with, our kids getting older. And as long as we focus on them being confident and just loving their family
Yeah.
and loving their parents, because we're just simply two awesome parents.
Yeah.
Then that's our main focus. And holding on to her innocence and his innocence, our future kids' innocence as long as possible.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for
You
joining us.
did good holding on to this episode. I know you're getting tired and hungrier sooner as the weeks go on. So really
Thank you
good
so
job.
much for joining us today. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're watching us on YouTube, you could stream us on all your favorite podcast platforms. That what you're supposed to say?
Yep.
And
Notifications.
please share please share our podcast with anybody that you think might enjoy it or learn from it or feel connected to it. And we're so grateful you're here. And we hope you're enjoying your Pride Month. We definitely are. Maybe next episode we'll share a little bit about what we did this month and what we're planning to do.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you, everybody.
See you on the next episode. Bye.
Ciao.